on Google Meet. And
all right, enjoy, you guys. Bye.
Thanks again, Jen. All right, y'all. Okay, so we're going to start with Canva's Magic Write, which is our generative AI text feature. And then we're going to go into some Magic Studio, Magic Design, Magic Editing, all kinds of fun stuff. So before we kind of do, though, I want to just take a quick overview of Canva and then Magic Write, and then I promise we'll hop in and spend the rest of the time playing and creating together. So if you're unfamiliar with Canva for Education, y'all, truly, if you can dream it, you can make it in Canva. We're all about visual communications and making sure any audience can understand the information that you're trying to communicate. You all have access to Canva's entire visual suite, so that means that there's different Canva document types that you can create. And it's truly 100% free for your entire school district because we believe education is a human right. So again, I'm going to be specifically talking about AI components of Canva for Education. However, I just like to point out that your staff, your colleagues, and your students have Canva access. Now, the majority of the AI features that I'm going to show you today, students do not have access to. It's only open to adults, so teachers and folks tagged as staff on the back end. So just kind of wanted to make that clear, but in the last session I got asked like, hey, do our students have this? And yes, they do have free Canva for Education accounts. So to reiterate, here at Canva for Education, we're all about equitable access to designing, and we want to empower everyone to create, collaborate, and communicate in the classroom and beyond. So if everyone here could take a moment to log into your Canva account, I would truly appreciate it. If you're logged in from the last session, you do not need to do anything. You probably still have a tab open. You should be good to go. But if you haven't logged in yet, again, please go to canva.com. In the top right, you'll hit login. You should be able to click this button, continue with Google. And then you are using your district email address. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to continue on. However, if you are having a login issue, if you could let me know, I can try my best to help troubleshoot on the fly. But I have so much I want to show you. I'm going to try to keep moving. And let's do a quick Magic Write overview. So we like to think of Magic Write as your AI-powered teaching assistant in Canva. Really great question that came up in the chat. Is it okay to log into my own Canva account, or will I miss some of the things you'll be showing us? If you have Canva Pro, for the most part, you'll see all of the same things. However, I do recommend staying in your education, your district account. The reason I say that is because in your Canva for Education account, you have things and access to different templates as well as elements that people who pay for Pro do not have access to. It's our special educational template library as well as element library. And so when you're designing for school, I would stay in the district account. I know it's hard to kind of toggle back and forth between both of them. Oh, you'll see if you have a district account. Okay, I see. If you don't necessarily have a district account, as long as you have a district email address, you should be able to log in. If not, we can always make sure, I can work with Jen to make sure you get rostered in. So for the backup, oh, yay. Okay, you got in. I was going to say for the backup, use your Pro account, and then we'll make sure you get your EDU account set up. Okay, fantastic. All right, y'all. So your AI-powered teaching assistant, Magic Write, can help you draft lesson plans, assist with grading and coming up with comments, parent communications, and truly so much more to save you time. So I'm going to let my colleagues kind of take it away for a quick explanation, and then we'll all get to explore and experiment with Magic Write together. You know what? I'm having a moment where I don't think I shared my sound. So I apologize, Google Meet. Again, I am very outdated. So let's kind of, essentially we'll skip this. Thank you for your grace with me. And I just want to remind you that when I show you where Magic Write is, no matter what you're creating in Canva, be it a video, a poster, a slides presentation, You can always access Magic Write across all of the different Canva document types in our visual suite. Again, thinking about Magic Write, the benefits, we're going to learn how you can personalize learning, make lesson fun and safe, and ultimately all we want to do is let you get your time back because we know you're doing 5,000 other things beyond just what your actual job description says. When we're using Magic Write though, please remember the first two are super important. You're going to get time to play around with creating different prompts, okay? And I really want you to play with keywords, rearranging words, being more specific, because I like to say your output is only going to be as good as your input, okay? So that's all to say, please don't get discouraged. This is a time of experimentation. A lot of us, this is going to be brand new. It's okay, but I really want you to kind of play around with prompt writing and see how it kind of feels and get a feel for it. The second thing I want to point out, and I know you all know this, but I'm obligated to say this, is please consider Magic Write as a rough draft. It is not a final copy. It is still emerging technology, and we still, as humans, need to read it and make sure that it is accurate and appropriate for the context of our classroom, and we feel good about sharing it. Or if it's helping you draft an email back to families, you have to make sure that it's in your normal tone of voice, right? So again, please treat it as a first draft and then make sure you're refining and editing it ultimately to achieve your goals. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take you all to our resource site. So if you could, let me pin this one too. Okay. If you could click the bit.ly link I just put into the Zoom chat, you're going to scroll down and y'all see this second session here. And then I want you to click on the middle button on the right-hand side. This button says Canva Magic /AI Exploration Template Link. Okay, so again, first step, click the link in the Google chat, going to the bit.ly, scroll down to the session, Spark Inspiration and Save Time with Canva's Magic, and then hit the button, middle button on the right-hand side. It's going to open up a landing page. It's going to say, hey, y'all, Amy created this template. You're like, awesome, I know her now. And you're going to scroll down and select this button, Use Template for New Design. So this is what we call a template link in Canva. So each of you is going to get pushed your own copy of my template. When you begin editing, remember, this is your copy. You're not editing my original. This is now yours. It will save forever in your Canva project, and it's going to save automatically as you go.
Would you show again?
Sorry. Oh, question?
Would you show again how to get there? I was not on the screen with you in Meet. I was within the Canva link.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you.
No worries. Okay, so you're going to go to the resource site. Click that bit.ly. So again, this is in the Google Meet chat. Click the bit.ly link. You're going to scroll down to session number 2 today, this one with Canva's Magic. And then the button on the far right-hand side where it says Canva Magic AI Exploration Template Link, you'll click that button and then you'll come to this landing page where it says, hey, Amy made this. You know me now, so you trust me. You scroll down, hopefully you trust me. Scroll down and you'll say use template for new design. And then Canva will pop it open in the Canva editor so you get your own copy of this.
Thank you, I'm there.
Perfect, awesome. Okay, so everybody's screen hopefully should look like mine. I know that was multiple steps to get there. So thank you for your patience. We are going to go into some explore time with Canva's Magic Write. So if you kind of move over to page number 3 with me, or you might scroll down depending on your view, you might just scroll down to page number 3. If you want to change your view to have kind of like the timeline thumbnails across the bottom, it's this button here towards the bottom right of the footer. It's right now it says thumbnail view, and when I click that, now I get kind of this thumbnail view within the Canva editor. That's kind of just like personal preference. I just wanted to show you all where that lives because sometimes people are like, wait, how did you get that? So you're going to see here, I have a couple of resources that I've embedded. Remember, this is your copy. It will never delete. As long as you have access to the internet, it's going to save along as you go and create today. And our Canva Design School and Canva EDU team have created what we call Magic Write Prompt cheat sheets. So I've embedded each one of these cheat sheets. There's multiple across these slides. We're just going to focus on the first one first. So on page number 3, it's kind of like this Pelly green color. There's directions on the right-hand side, but I'm also going to show you all kind of how to do this. And I promise I'll show it 2 times. So if you just want to watch the first time, you're more than welcome to. In order to open this cheat sheet so we can actually read these awesome prompts, you're going to need to click on the cheat sheet. And then in the floating toolbar that appears, you're going to see this blue URL link, okay? Once I click that, it's going to pop open into a new tab where I can literally see the whole cheat sheet filling up the page and now actually read these awesome prompts that our team has come up with. Now, the thing that I love about these cheat sheets is any one of these prompts, you can just copy and paste the text and bring it back into your Canva creation. And so you don't have to like remember the whole prompt from memory. So across the top, you're going to see ideas for pedagogical approaches, student engagement ideas, as well as assessment ideas. So y'all, I'm just going to take this first one at the very tippy top of the left here. I'm going to highlight it with my cursor. Again, if you have a trackpad you're using or a mouse, you can always right click and copy that. I personally do keyboard shortcuts, so I just like to hit Control-C. And then in my web browser, I'm going to go back to my Canva tab that I have open. And this is the crucial part here, okay? It's in caps here, but you have to click off the cheat sheet. The reason that is because if I went down to my Canva teaching assistant right now, it's going to think because I have the cheat sheet highlighted, that's what I want help editing, and that's not the case. Okay, so click anywhere. You can even click off the slide. You could click a blank place on the slide. It really doesn't matter, but as long as you click off the cheat sheet and any other text box, then you're going to open your Magic Assistant, which is this circle and the stars in the bottom left, and you have to select Magic Write, okay? Sometimes people get confused and just paste right here at the top. That is not the Magic Write prompt box, okay? I know it's a little deceiving, but you have to select Magic Write. Now my Magic Write prompt box will appear. I'm going to hit Control-V to paste. Now, please forgive me. I taught elementary school, so I have no idea what any NGSS standards are up there, but I will do a 3rd grade one for you. I will answer your question in just a second. Oh, okay. So the Magic Write, it's, so you're going to see design, elements, text, all of that going down. But this is the Magic Write, this is your Canva Magic Assistant. It's the circle with the stars in the very bottom left of the Canva editor. Remember,
you see that when I click on it, though, it doesn't give me the options you showed. It gives me a search and then recommended actions with text, share, and download.
So you probably have something else clicked on your page. Okay. So the key thing is when you come back, you need to click off, just click anywhere kind of like off the slide to deselect everything, because whatever you have clicked on and highlighted, that's what Canva is going to think you want help with editing.
I did that. It's still not working. So if I close out of the copy of the template, how do I get back to it?
It would just be on your Canva homepage under your recent designs. You might have to refresh your Canva homepage, okay, but it will show up there once you refresh it.
Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, still not working. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just going to follow you on Meets and I'll come back to it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So you can see here I have 10 inquiry questions. Again, I realize this is not high school level, so please forgive me. But this is what I have memorized in my brain from my elementary science. And from here, I could play around with more prompts. So again, one more time, you're going to click on the Magic Write cheat sheet if you haven't already in the top left. Click on the blue URL in the floating toolbar that appears below. It will pop open the Magic Write cheat sheet in its own tab. You can copy any one of these prompts just by highlighting the text and hitting Control-C. Come back to your Canva tab, click off everything on the slide. So you just essentially want to click off into kind of the space beyond the slide. Go to your Canva Magic Assistant, and then you have to access Magic Write here, and that's where you're going to paste in your prompt. Now, put Magic Write to the test. Think about beginning of the year. If you're talking about digital citizenship, or if you have a particular unit, Magic Write knows standards codes. So if you know the NGSS standards, interesting. Well, that would be a problem if you all can't see this. Oh, goodness. Huh. Okay, so I'm a little concerned that all of you all cannot see this. Huh. I'm wondering if this was, I'm gonna have to get with Jen on this. Tech is fun. Yes, thank you for your understanding as I'm trying to figure out on the fly. I will have to connect with your district leaders. I'm really not sure why you're not seeing this. It should be on automatically for all teachers. So let's kind of skip this for now. However, I will let me demo something at the high school level. So can somebody give me a grade level, subject area, and a unit? And I'll just demo really quickly, and then we'll move on from this just because I want to give you something actually at the high school level since I don't have any of that memorized. So something must be going on with your district settings. And again, I truly apologize. I personally am not involved in any backend setup. So I will have to kind of get with y'all's ed tech team and leaders to make sure that you all have access to this. But in the meantime, if somebody could give me Shakespeare, okay, generate 10 inquiry questions. How about sonnets? I hope I'm doing this right. That will spark curiosity in grade number 10. I'm kind of making this up as I go along, but thank you for your kindness. Okay, so you can kind of see here how Canva's Magic Write could help you when it comes to lesson planning once we get you all access to it. Again, I truly apologize for you all not being able to see Magic Write as an option, but let me zoom in just so you can see a few of these questions that come up. And you can see, you can be more specific. In the future, when you have access to Magic Write, you can copy and paste standards codes. You can have Magic Write level text. You could have Magic Write if you're teaching math and you want some statistics questions having to do with, you know, the Summer Olympics or something like that, something timely. You could use that stats standards code and say generate 10 statistics questions on XYZ standard for students interested in the Olympics, and then see what kind of comes up. So when you're thinking about personalizing learning, this is a great avenue once you all have access. Again, for the sake of time, we're going to kind of move on because clearly there's some sort of access issue. Unfortunately, can you speak to the accuracy of the information generated? So yes. A few things. Our Canva Magic Write, so once you all can access this, it is built off of OpenAI's platform. However, our Canva for Education engineers have added more guardrails and have also added in kind of like all of the Common Core, NGSS, as well as state standards into kind of the algorithm of that foundational open AI platform. Actually, at the end of the slides, and I can put this, I'll put this in here as well, but when we get to the end, there's actually a whole slide with all of the information about Canva's AI, where it's derived from, and all of that sort of stuff. So I'll point that out as well, so that you can kind of further follow up and read until you feel good and comfortable about how Canva is kind of operating here. Of course, oh my goodness, no, this is an awesome question. Okay, again, I know you all can't get into Magic right at this exact moment, but I just want to walk you through the other resources once you all have access. We have 3 other cheat sheets. The teal one on page number 4 has to do with writing lesson plans. So again, you just click on it, pop it open, and then you can see all of these lesson plan prompts. On page 5 and 6, I know they look similar. They're both yellow and orange cheat sheets, but I love both of them. The one on 5 is super cool. It has prompts having to do with definitions, examples. I really like these reflection prompts as well. Again, I wish you had more time to play with this to see what is actually generated, but hopefully we get that fixed up for y'all soon. And then the last one on page 6, again, yellow and orange. This one is differentiated by subject area. So if you're looking for specific prompts for a science classroom versus a social studies classroom, there's other prompts here that can help you kind of differentiate generation of content from there. Okay. Again, I'm really sorry that you all don't have a chance to play with this, but I'm going to demo this next bit so that when it is turned on for you all, you know exactly what to do. But essentially, any text box in Canva, when we get y'all's Magic Write turned on, regardless if you wrote it or it was generated by Magic Write, when you click on the text box, so right now I'm on page number 7, when I click on the text box, and I'm curious, I'm nervous though to even ask you all, but if you click on the far left text box on page number 7, the one in the pink rectangle where it says explain the importance of pollinators, when you click on that text box and highlight it, do you all see this Magic Write over here on the top left of the horizontal toolbar? I'm bracing myself for the response. No. Okay. All right. I figured as much, Kimberly, but I just appreciate you letting me know. In the future, there's a ton of options. So you could literally say, explain the importance of Shakespeare's sonnet, whatever, and then click on the box and say, hey, Canva, continue writing this for me. And it will literally expand exactly what you had going on. Oops, let me click the text box. Explain the importance of pollinators in maintaining the healthy stability of ecosystems. Pollinators such as bees, butterflies, birds, and bats play a crucial role, blah, 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 blah. So just kind of wanted to showcase a few more things. You could also maybe copy and paste the text of an article, then click on that text box, go up to Magic Write and say, actually shorten this or summarize this for me. So Magic Write will make it more concise. The future does look bright, Joanna. Thank you for your positivity. And the last little bit, this one I love demoing. So this is kind of talking about the journey of a bee from a flower to honey. So you could select Magic Write and you can make this more fun, more formal, or sprinkle a little fairy dust, which is just kind of absolutely silly. I call it a mix of a fairy and a pirate. You can see here, the voyage of the bee from blossom to golden honey is a wondrous tale of nature's harmony. So again, a little silly. But that gives you some idea of how Magic Write can hopefully help you save time. Does the try me stay on that page after it is finished? So the original text box does not stay. So that's a great question, except for the one where it's continue writing. So for instance, the original text box of this explain the honeybee to flower to honey, you can hit the back arrow. And what I would do is just duplicate this first if you want the original text box still, and then click on the second text box, and that's the one that I would have Magic Write sprinkle the fairy dust on. So I have my original still, and then I have this edited up one, and that maybe I want to like mash them together. So that's a great question. It doesn't necessarily stay. You have to make your own duplicate copy. Yep. Okay, y'all, I have no idea what we're about to encounter next, but I am really crossing my fingers and hoping for the best that the next feature you all have access to. So let's continue on. If y'all can hop with me to page number 9, I'm really hoping you have access to what Canva calls Magic Media, or our text to image app. Oh Lord, I'm so nervous to get y'all here and see what happens. Okay, so on the left-hand sidebar, if you go to Elements, if you scroll down, do you see this category here, AI Image Generator, and then the option to create your own? So again, left-hand sidebar. Oh, thank you. Okay, left-hand sidebar, hit Elements, and then scroll down until you see the category. Yay, victory. Okay, AI Image Generator, and then click this button here, Generate Your Own. Okay, whew, sigh of major relief here that y'all actually get to play now. Okay, so now we're in Magic Media. It used to just be images. So if you're like an OG user, you know it as text to image, but we've now allowed you to also create graphics and videos, which is why the name changed to Magic Media, because it's not just images anymore. If you need help kind of thinking about, okay, how would I use this in the classroom? We have some ideas over on page number 9. You could have Magic Media help you come up with like an imaginary character, a particular scene, or allow students to maybe visualize particular feelings. But I know that this is not super deep, but one of my favorite ways is to just pick some of my favorite animals, eating my favorite foods, in my favorite places, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, see otters eating ice, cream on the boardwalk. Okay, from here, remember input, your output is only gonna be as good as your input. So the more descriptive that you could potentially be, hopefully you're gonna get a media or image that you actually like. Underneath the input box, you're going to see different artistic styles. So you can click see all once you put in your little prompt. So again, styles, and then over to the right, see all. There's different photography styles. We have different digital art, such as anime or like a 3D model. And we also have stuff, this one's kind of new. This is like a paper cutout, I think is super cool. Stained glass, ink print, watercolor, all kinds of options. I'm just going to go with the top film one, and then you can choose square, landscape, or portrait. Once you hit generate image, that's going to use up one of your Magic Media quote unquote credits. You get 500 credits per month, and at the bottom it should tell you how many credits you have left and when your 500 credits refresh. So I just like to point that out to folks. I'll hit generate, and then I'm going to get 4 options. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this one might be my favorite because it's got like this little perspective of this kind of like beachy restaurant in the background. All I did was select the one I wanted, and then you can just drag it into one of these frames. I'll zoom in so y'all can like actually see this on my screen. The cones are a little weird. They look like a little drippy here, but the dishes of ice cream don't look bad. Again, this is not going to be perfect. It is AI generated, but it's super cool to allow students to potentially envision this. I will say, I think because you all are seeing this, but I will check again with your EdTech team. I think that this might be the only AI that's open to your students, because Canva made this Magic Media app, therefore it's COPA FERPA compliant. But I will double check with Jen to make sure that I am speaking the truth, since clearly I didn't know that you all right now something is wonky with your Magic Write access. So just want to check in with folks. Have you had a chance to kind of make your own Magic Media? If you don't like any of the 4 that are suggested, you could say generate again, or go back and change up your prompt. Maybe make it more specific, change up the artistic style, and see how that kind of changes and impacts what's generated. So just curious, how did Magic Media do for you? Did anybody get any fun outputs based on their input? Yay. Okay, I'm glad something's actually working so you get to play with it. All right, y'all, we're gonna hop to the next little bit here. And again, it's kind of like a surprise each time. You'll just have to let me know if what I'm showing you, you all can see. But we're gonna go into some Magic Studio photo editing features using AI. So we're moving over on our kind of exploration deck to Magic Edit. Now there's a challenge on page 11 that you're more than welcome to kind of follow the directions. Let me zoom out real quick. There you go. And kind of play around with that. But honestly, I wanted to show you all my favorite way to use Magic Edit is to create kind of like a custom headshot. So in order to do this, you might have to upload. So on the left-hand sidebar, if you do have a photo on your device, you are more than welcome to right now, photo of yourself or somebody else or whatever, you can upload by selecting the Uploads tab. And then you can hit these 3 dots and you can upload directly from your device, or maybe you have it in your Google Drive. Now, it's kind of not fair, but I already have one uploaded. So I'm just going to click on my picture and kind of drag this in, make it a little bit bigger so you all can see this. Okay, so you can see here at Canva, we are very casual and we are either wearing t-shirts or most likely a Canva hoodie. So this is technically a professional headshot of me, but I'm in a hoodie. So I could take this particular picture and bring it into my Canva design, click on it to highlight it, and then in the toolbar above, I'm going to hit the edit button on the far left-hand side. Now give Canva a second. I'm going to close out my left-hand sidebar so I have some more editing space. Give Canva a second. This toolbar on the right-hand side does take a minute to load, but from here you can access, and you all are going to have to let me know if you see this. Once you have a photo in here, if you don't want to spend the time uploading a photo, remember, you could go to our element library and just search like teacher and say photo and drag in a picture of a random teacher to play around with this. So don't stress if you don't have your own photo. But I'm curious, if you do have a photo into either yours or one from the element library and you have it in your design, when you click on the photo and then click on edit on the far left of that horizontal toolbar that appears, do you all see these photo editing options such as Magic Eraser, Magic Grab, Magic Edit, Magic Expand? Oh, phew, another sigh of relief. Okay, awesome. So the one we're going to play with first is Magic Edit. So you could potentially click on an entire kind of element of a design. However, I don't recommend doing that for this one because AI is really not so great with like faces. So I want to keep my face. So I'm going to go back to the brush option. I'm going to make my brush just a little bit smaller. And I'm going to brush over this Canva hoodie. I'm going to try to keep as much of my hair as I can. We don't have Magic Edit in this. Can you tell me what you have in this section? Is it just background remover? You only have Magic Eraser. Oh, man. Okay. let me demo this, and I might ask for a few screenshots from you all before we wrap up. I'm going to say business professional attire. I'll hit generate. I have no idea. This is like new to me today. So it might take a moment. It might have to do with the internet, but it should, Wendy J, be in your uploads tab. And I know you have pro, so I know you know what you're doing. Oh, got it. Okay. But you can see here, this one, the collar's kind of weird. I have no idea why they're adding in text, but this one is not so bad. I might crop this because you see how, again, this is AI generated. Interesting. Kimberly, everybody's so helpful. Thank you for helping me. I'm really sorry that this is happening. And I will do my best to ensure that we get this fixed up for you all. So I'm going to select this one. You can tell the hem on this blazer is weird, but I'll just crop it. I'll hit done. And in a couple of minutes, I went from a hoodie to now kind of like a blazer situation. And I don't know if you noticed, but they kind of gave me some more full hair, and I'm not mad about it. So anyways, this is one of my favorites. I know I'm thinking about it from like a professional perspective, but it could also be really fun, like for your Gmail teacher picture. If you're changing the unit that you're, going into, and you're now going to be doing outer space, like you could essentially come into here and have Canva turn you into an astronaut, and then upload that photo to your Gmail account. And then you can have it changing kind of like throughout the school year, depending on the unit. It's just a great way to kind of spark conversation, maybe with students or families who might see an email come in from you. Just thinking about different ideas and how you might be able to use that. Let's hop to the next one that I'm hoping you all have, because some folks are telling me, oh, yay. So it might just be an internet thing. It might just take a minute or two for them to load. But we're going to hop to page number 14, since y'all are telling me that you have Magic Grab. So I want to demo this one with you all too. Magic Grab is different than background remover. So the thing I love about Magic Grab is that it's going to allow you to select a subject of a photo. And then if you move that subject, it's going to use AI to fill in behind it. So let me kind of show you what I mean. On page number 14, you can click on any one of these animal photos on the left-hand side. So remember, you want to click on the photo. And then in the horizontal toolbar towards the left, you'll click Edit. In the Magic Studio section, this one we're going to do is Magic Grab. So it has kind of the hot air balloon icon here. Since we're going to use the whole fish, it's okay. I can just click on the whole fish. I'll say, okay, now grab that for me. Taking a minute here. And let me kind of toggle back. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Now the really cool thing is this particular fish, now I could make it smaller. I could make it bigger. I could move it in the scene. And when I pick it up and move it, Canva has used AI to fill in the background behind where that fish was. So it's super cool to be able, if you're like, oh man, that photo of my students I took in the front of the classroom and it's not centered and that's just going to drive me crazy. You could upload the photo and then Magic Grab your students and move them to the direct center of the photo in the front of your classroom, and Canva will fill in wherever the students kind of moved left, right, or up or down. You could also just totally detach the subject of the image and bring it in. So I know this is kind of elementary here, but thinking about how you might use this in a high school classroom to separate images and bring in different elements from photographs and work with graphics. So lots of different fun ways to potentially manipulate those. Okay, we're going to continue moving on here because I know I need to give a little more time for the feedback form and all of that good stuff. So we're going to skip over Magic Expand, but essentially, so cool, I know, right? But Magic Expand, you can click on any photo. Say you have a horizontal photo, but you're looking to make fill in a portrait kind of rectangle in your class newsletter. You could have Canva Magic expand that horizontal photo into more of a portrait or a vertical photo. Again, it's super easy. There's directions here, but all you're going to do is click on the photo, go to edit, and then go to Magic Expand and tell Canva how you want the picture to be expanded, and it will use AI to fill in those new bits that you want more of. Before we wrap up though, I want to make sure I show you all Translate, because you can translate any of your Canva creations into over 100 languages now. So if you can move with me to page number 18. Okay, so Canva's Translate is another one of our own embedded apps. Okay, so on the left-hand sidebar, you're going to scroll down. If you don't see apps, like I don't see it, I have to actually kind of scroll down a little bit more to be able to find the left-hand sidebar tab titled Apps. Once I select Apps, you could type in Translate. But just so you all know, because it's a Canva app, all you need to do is kind of just scroll past the featured and trending, and then all of Canva's apps are right here. So again, Magic Media is one of our own apps. That's the one we were in earlier. But right next to it, you're going to see Translate. So I encourage you, maybe you have a language in mind and you're curious if Canva has that. We have over 100 languages, so I'm just gonna select one. For some of our languages, we've now launched tone of voice options. So maybe with your families, you want to be a bit more conversational, or perhaps the other way, maybe you want it to be more professional. So you have kind of that option there. I'm just going to keep it original. You can also translate whole pages or just certain text boxes. So if I wanted AI Magic to stay in English, but I want Translate and the directions here to move to the new language, I would just select this, and then I can select which text boxes I would like translated. So I would deselect because I want AI Magic to stay English. Again, just showing you all the options you have. I'm going to translate the whole page. You can also, in one click, translate an entire document. So if you have a 30-page kind of like intro or syllabus or handbook or whatever it may be, in one click, you could highlight all of the pages. Just keep in mind, like Magic Media, you have 500 Translate uses per month. However, in Translate, one page is one use. So if I had a 30-page presentation and I was going to translate it into 3 different languages for my families, that's 90 of my 500 Translate pages, okay? So kind of just, I want to put that into context and be fully transparent about that so that you all kind of know that. So I can hit translate. I'm only going to do one page for the sake of time. And now I have this whole, this page now in my new language. A lot of times people ask me, okay, Amy, but what if I want one copy in English and then one copy in Spanish, not just one copy that goes English, Spanish, English, Spanish. What I would do is I would make an entire copy of your whole deck by going to File or whatever you've created. Go to File, make a copy, and then I would take this whole copy and I would go down to my apps, scroll down to Translate, turn it into my new language. And then under settings, you essentially deselect duplicate pages when translating. And then it will translate. I would have to select the whole document, but it would translate all of this into Spanish. So now I have the whole document, all 30 pages going across in Spanish. Okay. So again, you can do it page by page and have it kind of flip-flop between the languages, or make a whole copy of your original design and then translate that whole copy into the new language. All right, y'all, here is our feedback. Trying to give more time. Thank you so much to those of you who truly were crucial in helping me understand what you can and can't see. Again, I truly apologize that you all are having some trouble with Magic Write, but as soon as we hop off, I will be asking your district leadership if we can get that turned on for you all. There's a ton more in here. I just didn't have time to get to everything. But again, you have this copy. It's now yours forever and ever to live in your Canva projects. You can always come back to it. And I wanted to put this link into the chat as well. I know somebody was asking about where we get the AI text from. It's at the there's a helpful link article at the end, but I just wanted to put it directly in the chat so you don't have to scroll through all the slides. Of course, thank you all so much. Again, I'm here if anybody has questions, but also it is Friday and it is the end of the day, so please take off, go enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for hopping in and learning more about Canva. Oh, sorry. Let me pin that feedback link and I'll put it in one more time. So I'm learning about this pinning of things. Thank you so much for hopping in. So glad you have a Canva for Education account, but we will work on Magic Write for you all. Thanks, y'all. Have an amazing weekend and an awesome start to the school year. All right, I don't see any other questions coming into the chat. I just want to make sure everybody gets that feedback link. Awesome. All right, take care, everyone. Happy Friday.